So we agreed on the interview, and I've actually really looked forward to it, to be fair. Though hopefully this time it works better than last time. So, it's nice to see you, Miranda, or should I be calling you Nagi here?
I mean, either one. I don't mind.
So, oh my god. So, did you know about The World Ends With You before getting the role of Nagi in Neo?
Nope, I had no clue. I had to Google it. Actually, like when they said that I booked it, they didn't even tell me that I was a main character. They just kind of brought me in to do a recording session, right? And yeah, they just brought me in to do a recording session, and I was like, "Wait, this is way longer than I thought it would be." Like in a good way, I was really excited, and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna need about like 4 or 5 more of these kinds of sessions," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm a main character," and they didn't tell me what the game was until about 2 sessions in, and then they told me what it was, and I had to Google it. But, I'm familiar with, like, Square Enix's properties, like Kingdom Hearts, I'm familiar with it, and, that kinda stuff, so, anyway.
Um, to avoid NDA, obviously, but they came out on Twitter with information stating the estimated length of the game. How many recording
Mhm.
sessions does a 50-hour game, apparently, at minimum for story, take?
I wouldn't know. We did about 6 or 7, I wanna say, 4-hour sessions.
Jesus.
So, yeah, it was a lot, but, it was amazing every single time, like, I had a blast. It just felt like I was playing, like, the whole time, and, like, both the director and the translator, Matt, who would, like he would, kind of because he speaks Japanese, he is freaking amazing, and he was like, "Oh, like this line has this emphasis and this," he was able to translate the Japanese lines to English for me. And the booth director was also really sweet, and like they were both just really, really kind, and everyone was so nice. So I felt like I was playing like the whole time and just being myself, and or well, not being myself, but like being another character, which was just so much fun for me. So it didn't even feel like 6 4-hour sessions at all.
And then, how did you find out about the audition, considering you have no history with the series?
Yeah, usually my agents will just send me auditions for, random things. So I'll get an audition from Disney, Nickelodeon, Blind Light in the same like week or something like that. So like it'll be, just from random companies that want talent. So it's not like, oh, like it's an open casting call. It's more like my agents send me things and I do them before the due date like a diligent little voice actress.
Legend little voice actress. Oh my
Hee
god.
hee, hoo hoo, I will record the scripts for you.
And how do you feel about all the attention you've gotten as a result of doing Neo The World Ends With You?
I love it. I mean, like, it's not going to my head or anything. I'm still a dumb 21-year-old who reads fan fiction before bed. But, like, it's just so awe-inspiring that there's this loving, amazing fan base that I didn't even know about. Like, I didn't even know this little fan base existed, and, like, it's amazing to see how passionate you guys are, like, about it, and I'm just, like, in the trailer, like, that the I had, like, 2 lines in the trailer, and already you guys are, like, making fan art, and I'm just like, "This is incredible, I love this, this is amazing." It's great to see everybody, like, come together to be silly and make memes together.
I was about to say, your meme video was awesome, and when people see this, they should definitely go check that out. It was just funny to hear the backstory behind the crunky meme.
Oh, yeah, that was I did not mean for that to become a meme at all, but, I mean, it did, so, yeah, I'm familiar with those chocolate bars that are Crunkies, and my mom and I would always, just make silly jokes about that whenever we went to the Japanese market. Not, like, make fun of it because I love the Crunky bar, oh my god, it's so good. Chocolate, delicious.
And this is going on to a completely different topic, but it's important because it's a recent issue and you've obviously been working throughout it. How has your work with this project been handled during the pandemic?
Actually amazing. I have a whisper booth in my garage, so I think 3 out of the 6-ish sessions were done there, and the other ones were done at the studio, and the studio, like, they made me, answer questionnaires, hand sanitize everything, and what they would do is they would have no one else come into the booth that whole day except to be sanitized, and, like, it was my own special booth, and I had my own special bathroom that hadn't been touched by anybody except to be sanitized. Like, it was really, really, really safe. And when I had to record at home, like in the whisper booth in my garage, they sent like a microphone, and like everything was individually wrapped in plastic and paper towels, and like it was really, really safe. And I just appreciate them so much for making it safe for me and comfortable. It was just, I don't know, it was just really, really heartfelt and sweet just to see that they cared about their talent that much. It was really amazing.
It's like the approach of the pandemic towards workers has been very varied. So it's like when we first talked about it, it's like I had big respect on Square for handling it so well.
Yeah, it was amazing, and the people at the place where I recorded, like, they just handled it so well. They even like, when they sent me microphones, they sent me, like, 2 or 3 different ones so we could try it out in the space, and it was, above and beyond, the Call of Duty, seriously.
Very nice. Good, massive props to companies though. It must have been like really difficult and such a as much as we can talk about how much money gaming businesses or just any of these industries have, it's still extra expense, and microphones aren't cheap. They are. My one's
Yeah, they're really
expensive.
expensive.
My one's expensive, and it's not even like high range for what it is. It's good quality, but it's not high range.
Yeah, I've just got my little Apogee, and like uh, I use that on the go for auditions and stuff. And like all my voiceover friends use this particular microphone for travel and stuff. So I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna use it for everything.
So, how did you get into voice acting then? Since we've heard about the little bit of process behind you getting this specific audition, but you've done other
Right, right.
projects.
Yeah, I did Shadowverse, I've done Arena of Valor, which has a way bigger player base than I thought. Um, yeah, Arena of Valor was really fun. I've done commercials and Netflix dubbing and stuff like that, and, not anything that I did, ADR for Escape Room, which is a horror movie that came out a couple years ago, which was really fun to hear my voice in the theater, really super weird. Um, but I got into voiceover because I mean, my dad is a voiceover actor, so like, he got me into it. Like, he would take me to the studio, and they would be like, "Hey, do you wanna read something?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I would love to." I was like 5 or 6 or something. And because I loved reading out loud, and my dad was like, "Well, she loves reading out loud and telling stories and stuff." And they were like, "Okay, come in." And so I did, and I read some stuff, and I had so much fun, and I was just like, "This is just like reading out loud to my dad in my bed, It's perfect for me." So I did a couple things, and I got a couple commercials, and then my mom like stopped me from doing it up until I was like 16 when I left her house. And then the first thing that I wanted to do was get back into voiceover because I thought it was so much fun. And my dad and I just do we're random weird characters around the house. Like, we'll do like, "Yeah, no, Australian accent, like, yeah, no, you're doing it wrong. I can't believe you're doing this. What are you doing? Stop it." Like, just doing really random silly characters around the house. And I did choir for 9 years, so, like, I developed my singing because my mom's a singer. And so, like, that combined with crazy accents and characters, just made me really interested in voiceover as a whole. So And I grew up around incredible voice actors, like, just because of being at the studio. It blows my mind still.
And what was your first voice performance as well? Just because we've talked about some of your repertoire.
First voice performance. Oh my god. I can't even remember. I think I might have been 5 or 6, and I did a commercial. Yeah, I don't remember what it was for. I do remember that I did a SeaWorld commercial, like, way back when, like, maybe I was 6 or 7. But I know I did a commercial a little bit before that, but it's just because I liked reading things and, they just, like, literally, they were just like, "Hey, do you wanna come read a story or read a little page of something?" And I was kind of reading at a young age because I just loved reading. I just wanted to read more and more and more. So, they were like, "Hey, do you wanna come in and read?" So I would. So, yeah, like, I got a SeaWorld commercial at, like, 6 or 7, I think.
Fair enough. It's like I'm. Hopefully, it doesn't come across as like an awkward conversation that I keep going kind of radio silent. I just don't want to interrupt your answers.
Oh, no, dude, totally cool. No worries.
What's your experience with art impact on your work in over voice voice over? Correcting myself.
Well, okay, so I've been an artist for as long as I can remember. Like, I've loved, um I don't know, I've just loved being a part of the Instagram community, and art has been. See, the thing was, like, back in middle school and elementary school, I was doing choir and not art classes, so I didn't end up taking an art class until my sophomore year of high school. And I was just like, I just had fun drawing, and I didn't know that it could be like a career choice. I was gonna do choir and, like, be a singer, and because that's just what I thought at the time. And I didn't take a technical art class until, like, yeah, sophomore year. So, and even then it was more like, because I was advanced at the time to enough to just do projects and not be taught, like, rendering and shading and stuff. So I never really had any of those kind of classes, and, like, that kind of thing. So, like, art, and animation I've loved forever, and I just never thought that would be a career for me. And now it kind of is, and I've been doing commissions and stuff. And but I'm such an animation nut. Like, I love everything animated. And so, like, that has impacted my voiceover for so long because I've been listening to these people do animated voices forever and ever. And, having my own style and doing silly voices, and, like, all of that has culminated in this desire to bring life to stories. And I was always like inclined to do voices for my own little animations. So I wanted to do that kind of thing. So, like, if you look on my Instagram, I've got, a bunch of videos where I do the voice of the characters and use different accents and characters and stuff like that. So that combined with my art, it's just, like, really fun to do, like, really fun to see.
What project have you done so far that you're most proud of?
I think this one for sure. Absolutely. Uh I don't know, man. I'm just really proud of this because I think this is the project that I've done the most work for. So, because, other stuff I've done for 2 hours, 3 hours, a couple little sessions here and there. And, it's definitely something to be proud of, and I love and respect everyone that I've worked with, but this one in particular, I've spent the most hours into. So it's almost like, like, I'm proud of all my other art pieces that took me 2 hours, but this art piece took me, 26 hours. So I'm I'm just really excited for people to, react to it when it comes out on July 27th. Like, I can't wait for that day, really.
It's gonna be so funny for me because I've actually like spoken to you now and I am on streaming this game, so every single time I hear Nagi talk, I'm gonna be like,
Mm.
Miranda.
Yes. Ooh. Yeah, it's totally weird because I don't think I would get recognized in public for being that, but, like, if I was at a convention or something and I was there for The World Ends With You, like, people would recognize me. So because I'm really self-conscious about the way that I look, so I've gotta, like, put on, like, a crap ton of makeup before I even think about going on camera. Um, I've just that's just been me for, like, the longest time, and I'm most comfortable in a booth and being myself. So, I love that people would recognize me from being the voice of something rather than, like, seeing me on the street and saying, "Oh, if that's the person," I would be like, "Ah." But, like, being a voice actor, people don't recognize you right away, and I'm just like, "Yes, this is perfect." I can just interact with the people who, uh are genuine about meeting me and stuff like that, so
You get to be your own version of a superhero without having to wear some stupid mask. It's just like, my voice. Can you pick it out among the hundreds of thousands of people you will hear down the street unless you see me in a
exactly.
specific place?
Exactly, exactly, exactly.
And to be fair, you could just like really confuse them and use any of the range of accents you've got just to throw them off.
Yeah, I've done that at Disneyland a couple of times, like, just interacted with cast members and, like, whatever accent that I wanted to, you know what I mean? Like, it's
That's
so silly.
that sounds like the perfect prank though. You could go up to any shopkeeper and just swap your voice over and freak them out.
Yeah, pretty much. And, like, not they're like, "Oh, like, where are you from?" And I'm be like, "Oh, I'm from Chechnya, like, originally, but, I came here, I love Disneyland, and I'm so happy to be here. I love Indiana Jones ride, like, it's my favorite." So, like, like, I'll just do, like, a slight Russian accent, just for fun, and it's so much fun. It's seriously, like, a lot of fun. 'Cause it doesn't it confuses people, and it's like it's the prank rule, it's confused, not abused.
What accents and voices do you enjoy the most out of like any you can do?
Ooh, this is fun. I love, I think Australian I can do the easiest, like, I can just slip into that, like, boom, but I think the most fun one that I like to do is probably Scottish, and, like, reading Scottish Twitter with my friends in my Scottish accent is always just a blast.
Oh
I
my
love Scottish Twitter.
Oh my god. I like only briefly visited that place and I was just like I don't know if I can fully understand this and I live in the UK, like not in a horrible way, just some of their memes.
They're so fun. It's so funny. And, like, yeah, I think Scottish is probably the most fun to do. And I also enjoy Irish, but I'm not super good at Irish. I wish I was better at it. But I'm gonna keep trying. Always need to practice, of course.
We can just mess with people and you can just test.
Yeah, honestly, that would be really fun. I think I would love that because I need to, like, test out my accents because I don't, like, do my accents alone in my room. I'll just do it, whenever my dad says something silly in an accent, and I'll respond back to him in that accent. So I don't do, like, vocal training, like, every day. Like, I just kind of do it when the situation calls for it, I guess. If that makes sense.
Oh no, it definitely makes sense. It's like, why would you modify yourself if you don't feel the need to? It'd be kind of awkward in some
Right. And
situations.
then but, I've heard that, like, people like D. Bradley Baker who do all the amazing creature voices, like, he's amazing, and I can't believe that he's in my pilot. But he told me he was like, "Oh," like, I think he was on a panel once, and he was like, "Whenever I'm in the car, I have, like a CD of, like, animal sounds, and then, like, I just repeat the animal sounds because he does all the creature voices and stuff, so and, like, to practice, he does it in the car, and I'm like, "Oh my god, that's amazing." Like, I don't even know
Love
if
it.
I could
I'd
yeah.
No, I'd love it if he went to like a drive-through or something and they just had that.
Right, and started to yeah, I just started hearing creature noises and, like, lions and stuff, like, "Dude, do you have an entire circus in your car?" Like
I didn't steal the lion that went missing, I promise.
I promise, that wasn't me, that was some other guy.
And then you also mentioned, because we talked about accents, you mentioned in the meme video, and you mentioned to me in general, because I asked you out of curiosity what voice you use for Nagi. Explain that here, and what made you think of using that voice, just because it's the best.
Oh yeah. So the specs, it was kind of funny. The specs were like, oh, you should think of like Peridot from Steven Universe, because they give you specs and like how to play the character, right? So they'll be like, oh, think Peridot from Steven Universe, nerdy characters. I think there was one more. What was it? It was like frick. It was like something nerdy, like a nerdy character. It might have been like Urkel or something, and like just a nerdy fangirl. And I'm like, dude, I'm that, bro. Like I am totally that. And so like I just kind of combined my normal voice with like a bit of Peridot, and like just kind of I mentioned in my meme video, I played her as like the most awkward lesbian I possibly could. And like that's just kind of become the way that I describe her, because I mean, when I play her, I mean, like, you know, it's literally like, here, let me like, so it's kind of like this, and it sounds like that. Lord Rindo, you're not making sense. So like, it's just this kind of like exaggeration of my voice, but like just with a little bit more vocal fry, and it just kind of sounds like this. And I'm just kind of trying to do my Peridot is like a little bit more that, like it's between Peridot and my voice.
It's so great.
Thanks. I literally love doing it. It's so much fun. Even after 28 hours of doing that, I'm still not sick of it. I love it.
It's like, the thing that's going to be really funny is, just as said, when I'm playing this, because I now know you and get on with you, it's going to be like, Miranda!
Yeah, like, what are you doing? What was that? Like,
it's more like I'm just going to probably respond to it as if I'm having an actual chat with you, and I'll probably mention it to you after the streams, like, Miranda, what the fuck did you do?
yeah, there was that thing, like I mentioned on Twitter, like they had me like doing like crunching noises, or not crunching noises, but like eating noises, and they would have me like chew on my finger. And I was wondering, like, what if it was doing, like, what if it was like that, you know? Like what I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like what uh I completely lost my train of thought.
What's it gonna
I'm
be
gone.
used
Goodbye.
for?
Oh yeah, like what what was it gonna be used for? Like what are they doing? I think I remember the context was them like all eating together, and she was having different reactions to the food. So I was having like a lot of fun like doing that, like doing different reactions to eating something. Because I love food, and you know, there's somewhere like she was just really excited or like really disgusted by the food. I love it.
Wait to hear that disgusted one. I cannot.
Yeah, there's like, you know, there's some where I just make all these, you know, I know this is not a spoiler in the slightest, but I do make a lot of exasperated sounds and fangirl noises. So, I mean, as you saw in the trailer,
It's just,
oh my
it's
gosh.
also just really funny to imagine, like, every single noise that we ever hear in a video game, it's like, there's gotta be some directive behind that sound, but even, like, the really awkward ones that they don't make with, you know, some sort of SFX instead, and have manually done. So anything bizarre, there's been someone who's actually done that, and there's been context behind it in the booth, but no one knows what it is.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, that was just that was a very fun experience. We were laughing about it like constantly, and we just had so much fun in the booth, and I just had such a blast recording her, and just because it's just an exaggerated version of me. Like I'm obviously not as obsessed with things as she is, but like she's just, yeah, she is like a really extended crazy version of me. So it was just so much fun to be that for a while.
Well, it's like, to me, it's really relatable. It's like, now that I actually know you, because it's like people on here that see this interview won't know that we've spoken beyond this, and it's like, even after this, we'll probably keep speaking until like even long after, because we've already agreed on another interview when the game actually comes out, because there's a lot of stuff you
Exactly.
straight up cannot discuss because of NDA, and
Right.
I wouldn't want to
And then
get you in
after the
trouble.
game comes out, after the game comes out, I'll be able to talk all about it, and, like, it'll be super fun, and because I'm planning on playing the game as well, possibly on stream, yeah.
It's like even beyond The World Ends With You, it'd be really cool to share topics with you and stuff, like whether it's through interviews like this or just talking in general just because we get on. So it's like, I'm looking forward to
Exactly.
any discussion.
Yeah, like, I have so many random things that I'm into, and, like, I just love talking about them with people, especially, like, if it's, like, film or movies and stuff, like, I'm a huge film buff, and, like, I love movies, so that just makes me very happy.
Yeah. There's I'm looking forward to animation recently, though. On my end, it's more the Japanese spectrum slash, anime spectrum over cartoons. Cartoons lately have
Yeah,
gotten
no,
worse, in my opinion, but
I
that's
gotta tell
controversial.
you, Infinity Train is really good. Like, in terms of, like, recent cartoons, that one is probably one of my favorites of recent years. Um, it's really good. You should definitely watch it.
I'll definitely
Um,
look into it.
it's pretty dark, but, like, in a good
Perfect.
way. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, they literally get away with murder in, like, I think book 3. Wait, is it book 3? No, I think it's book 2. Yeah, book 2.
It's like I mentioned to you, though, outside of this, controversial takes. I know that people will judge this, but it's like I knew about South Park when I was little, and I kind of grew up watching that. Even as an adult now, even though obviously some of the stuff is not okay in public, it's like,
Yeah,
when it's contextualized and you get the subject behind it, I accept the humor. In some cases, I actually really find the humor great. But the
right,
way they approach certain subjects, they are very clever with some, and I really appreciate that as an adult.
right, and, it's not like just dark for being this like, just for being dark. It's more like dark for being, like a parody and satirizing, like, the usage of that kind of humor, essentially. Like, it's I don't know, it's like a parody of itself almost.
It's like the coverage of the last time I think that South Park did something really well was the coverage of the election, where they originally they thought that Hillary Clinton was going to win, and this is why I'm pretty sure they don't release episodes live as events are happening anymore, because Donald Trump
Right.
won, and they had to
Yeah.
modify so much and had to change things up because they had obviously prepared animations. Like, they use Maya now, but they used to hand draw stuff. Because they used Maya, they
Mhm.
probably had an easier time. But if they had been hand drawing for that,
Oh, that would've been that would've been insane.
that would have been a nightmare. I don't even want to imagine how much stress, like, even using something like Maya where they have all the assets preloaded. Uh, if you've prepared, because I don't know if you're more aware of this process than I am. They normally do all of a season within like a very not short period of time, but it's all at once, and then they sporadically release those episodes.
Yeah, yeah. No, I heard about that. My previous 3D, professor, which I feel bad because I got a C in his class because I was really bad at 3D animation, really, really bad. I'm a 2D girl, I can't do 3D. Um, so yeah. Anyway, like, he was one of the original animators on South Park, and he, like, was talking about, like, how that was the case, like, how they would, do it all in one and then go forward with it, and then they would just, start another season, and he was like, "Yeah, it was, like, a lot of crunch time." Uh, yeah.
So, what other projects do you work on? Because I know this because we've talked about it, but let the people know about.
Right. Well, I mean, I just restarted my YouTube channel. And that's something I've been working on, but the biggest thing that I've been working on is this pilot. Well, it's not really a pilot. It's like a sizzle reel plus animation, and then there's like going to be a final shot where she's walking into the casino, and it's called the Comet Casino, or like a Comet Casino, and it's about this lawyer who is called back to her mother's and father's or like the family casino after leaving there for a really long time because her dad has gone missing. And it's set in space, and it's, you know, it's aliens and humans and robots and stuff, and there's so much fun. So basically all the people that she knew as a kid um are now like heads of departments. Like this comedy duo who used to be a comedy duo, like they're now in charge of housekeeping and food and beverage. And the guy who used to sing in the lounge is now in charge of talent scouting and, like, you know, watching people do acts and approving them for the casino. So it's just like there's so much fun stuff that I can do from there. So that I'm working on that, and I've gotten like all of my favorite voice actors to come and do 15 to 20 seconds of dialogue, because it's essentially going to be like a clip show, plus exposition plus some concept art and a final scene at the very end where it's like fully animated and with a bunch of moving parts. So yeah.
It's like you've shown me bits of that privately. Obviously, I don't aim on talking too much about what you've shown me unless, later you
No,
say
man, I posted it on my Instagram, so that's
okay.
all out in public.
Fair enough. Then I'll probably use that clip actually, while the video goes of.
Oh yeah, and there's a few other clips on my Instagram too.
Fair enough. Just because it's like you can see the amount of effort you put into the lip syncing. It's like I commented on the fact that the tongue moves exactly as it would with the actual dialogue, despite the character isn't even human, so technically that attention to detail wouldn't even need to be there. And it was really neat to see. It's like I got to see it before it was on the Instagram, and I was like so happy with it because it's like it was really nice to look at. And
Thank you.
the final project is going to be, well, the final product. I've said project.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. And
Thanks. I've been working really hard on it, and I think, it's funny because I've known these voice actors. The people that I've got include I've got I don't want to, like, be like, "Hey, hi, these are the people that I got for my thing. Haha, in your face." Like, no, like these are literally my friends, and I'm just so freaking excited to have them on board. Like it's an honor. I've got Tara Strong, Maurice LaMarche, Billy West, um, Gary Anthony Williams, Mindy Sterling, Lorraine Newman, um, and Lori Allen, who is my surrogate mom, and I love her so much. And she's like, well, not not in the technical sense, but I adore her, and just I'm just so excited to have everybody on board. And my friend Ratna is doing it. She's voicing the main character, and she's incredible. She voices Leonie in Fire Emblem, and just there's so many amazing people that I have on board here, and it's insane to me that they would even want to think about doing it. But a lot of them were like, "I'd be honored," and I'm just like, it's a lot of pressure, but I'm just so excited. It just freaks me out.
I just think it adds such an amazing homey touch, the fact that it's, such a personal thing. It's got your own connections actually in it, instead of it just being put through an agency and being like, oh yeah, we need skilled voice actors for this one.
Right. Right. And it's funny because I've known these people my entire life. Like, I've been coming into DPN, which is my agency now. Shout out DPN. And all those people are at that agency, and like, I've been around those people my entire life, and they're all like, "Oh, I'm excited to see what you're gonna do and be and blah blah blah." And I've never had a project that I've actually finished because executive dysfunction. Heyo. But I've never had a project that I've actually wanted to continue and build and that kind of thing. Usually the the pilot ideas, like, end, like, I don't know, they end pretty soon, like, I'll think about something and I'll be like, "Oh, that's an interesting idea," and then I just never know how to continue it, and I've never had something that I could potentially continue for, like, seasons. Like, I've got season arcs, like, thought out, and I've got episode ideas thought out. So, like, I've never had anything to call my friends in on, and now I have something and I'm just like, "Yes, it's all coming together," and be like, "Yeah, I'm way in over my head, but, like, whatever."
Ahead when you've got the drive to do it. It's like I really get that feeling of not being able to finish the ideas you come up with. Obviously, smaller scale, but it's like my own university assignments or even scripts for my YouTube. Like, I have over 7 different scripts that I thought initially, oh yeah, that'd be awesome to do, and I've just never finished them, or I just lost motivation, or it just became irrelevant. It's like a great.
Yeah. No, I very much get it. I very much get it.
And then the final question I had written down for you. You've already answered that you aim to play Neo The World Ends With You when it comes out, but will you
Oh,
go
yeah,
back
for
and
sure.
play the previous games because the plot's important and you have not played them yet?
I probably will. Isn't there just one?
Yeah, I said them by accident. It's just the
Oh,
first.
no, it's all good. I wanted to I just wanted to make sure. I was like, "Oh boy, more than one." But yeah, like 100%. Like, absolutely, I'll go back and play it. I'm really I don't know, I'm just really excited to see, like, what these characters are like, and now that I have a Switch, and once I move into my new apartment, I'll be able to have time to, like, do that and stuff. Obviously, I'm a very busy woman, but, I think that it would be really helpful to me to, like, play it and have fun with it, so I'm pretty excited.
So I'm excited to hear what you think about the original game. It's like, obviously, we've already talked about an eventual interview when the actual game releases, so we can talk about the stuff that we're not allowed to touch right now. It's like, I didn't want to get you in trouble and you don't want to get in trouble, so some subjects
Right.
are not up for discussion at all. But
Mhm.
it's like, eventually when they can be talked about, I know for a fact that people would love to hear your opinions.
Yeah, I think I'm very excited about it.
So I'm just real. I don't know. For me, it's really funny. I mentioned it before, but it's just, now that I know you as a person, it's gonna add so much um liveliness. It's gonna bring that game more to life than already, because obviously a vocal performance, it's like the voice actors are good at what they do. You definitely feel things because of their performances. But it's like, knowing who it is behind it's probably gonna make me more joyful than anything. Like, even if it's a tragic moment, it's like, Miranda, you did so good.
Aw. Aw.
And I'll
That
just
was
pester you
yeah.
about it in DMs after.
Oh my gosh.
um,
Yeah. It's real fun.
uh,
I'm very excited for it to come out.
I'm really excited for it to come out. So, I only recently got into the series because of my community, and now I get to actually be an active part of that community. It's like, I got in touch with you to ask personally about your experiences, but it's like I've now got to befriend you as well, not just for like the sake of interview. And
Right.
it's like, I can talk to, not just Nagi the voice, but Miranda the person, and just have random
Yeah.
conversations about anime and be a dork
Yeah, honestly. Oh my gosh.
and see
Yeah.
great quality animations. It's like, I gave props over the pilot because I truly think it looked amazing, and I am looking forward to stuff. Unfortunately, I don't have Instagram. It's like, that's the only social media I don't think I have that, not just because it's not branded under the channel name, but like in general, I don't have Instagram.
I mean, that's fine. It's just that, you can if you ever want to see my stuff, just like look it up online because the Instagram has like a desktop mode too. So
I'll probably
yeah.
make an Instagram just to check up on like the progression of that pilot. It's like, obviously outside of this, I'll probably ask for like your links just to give everyone stuff that they should definitely check out, and if they don't, I'm judging them intensely because you deserve it.
Aw, thank you.
And if
I certainly try. I do, like, it's just weird because I used to do my YouTube channel, and it was totally different, and, uh, eh, I was not comfortable with my face. I did, like, one video with my face in it, and, like, uh, uh, another video but, like, a couple other videos where I wasn't even on camera, like, it was just reviews of things, but just with pictures, like, talking over it, and I was just like, "You know what? This isn't personable, like, I need to revamp it." And so, like, yeah, like, a week ago, um, I started my channel pretty much over again, so
it's like
yeah, that was fun.
for me, that's like really, I I would want, like, in my opinion, I feel like I'm as honest as I can be to the people who watch me and support me, and I'm an incredibly grateful person, and I really don't see myself as higher than, like, my standard. It's like I mentioned before Near Replicant came out, I made a video saying that I revoked my application towards getting a game key, and I made, like, a personal thank you saying that it's like I'm not even on 1,000 subs, so I didn't expect to get in, but it's like I wanted to at least use that as an opportunity to actually thank the team and the company behind so many things I love. So it's
Yeah.
like I don't see myself as higher than anyone else because of my channel, and I never would. And I don't not show my face to distance myself. I do it just because of my comfort. And it's like it's really cool that you feel comfortable with doing that. I don't know if it
Yeah.
takes away from the personalization because it's like I don't know. It depends on the person, and it's like it's really cool that you have that confidence. I just don't.
No, man, it differs for everybody, and I'm totally contrary to popular belief. I'm not incredible in social situations, but like when I'm just one-on-one talking or like talking to my computer camera, I'm like off the walls, like woo, like
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty outgoing for sure.
I can get that. It's like at the same time, it's like even for me, I think if I uploaded something like that, I'd want to crawl into a ball and die. It's like, oh my god, that's on
Yeah.
the internet, and that's me, and Thank you for being a part of this. We agreed on it, but it's just really cool that everyone gets to hear how you feel about stuff involving the series. And there's a lot more that we're obviously going to be able to discuss involving it. And you've just been great to have on. You're really calm about it, you're really chill, and you're almost a part of, like, anyone can probably relate to how you feel about this because you're on. It's kind of like having one of us because normally voice actors are quite a bit more mature, like not in that sense, but older.
No, I get you. Like they have their own agendas and they're less involved with the fan base and stuff. And like that's totally fine. Like that's how there's a lot of people that are like that and there's a lot of people who are like invested in it and it's great either way because some people are more TV actors as well. Like there's people who are both voice actors and TV actors and they do that and but yeah, like I've been a fangirl forever, like since freaking middle school. And like it's so lovely to be a part of a fan base who's like loving and accepting. Like that's incredible. I love it.
It's like I'm sure that like everyone out there loves your performance so far, and just how well you've taken to it. Though it's like responding to the memes and making a video, like voicing them and just reacting to them and giving people your feedback on them. It's like you're actively engaging versus just writing a response on Twitter. You've like actively been a part of the process of like what the fan base is coming up with for this game and you and your character portrayal.
It's so fun to see. It's really fun to see. And like I love everyone who's like been interacting with me and like hanging out and stuff and it's so great. It's really great.
So thank you again for taking your time out of, your very busy schedule. I'm so sorry lately.
No, dude, it's morning. I just had breakfast. I was, got a couple hours to spare.
Oh yeah, you've just been rushed off your feet lately. You've been so busy. I feel
Yeah.
awful for you.
No, dude, like it's you know, it's weird because like I'll have a really busy day and then, you know, a lot of the day is like spent drawing, which doesn't feel like work, but it is. And like it's a very kind of a mixed bag. So um yeah, it's all good. Don't even worry about it.
Fair enough. And hopefully I didn't do bad with this, because I don't know if you've been in interviews before, but this is my first time actually interviewing someone. The first take we took on this didn't work because of the computer I recorded on. I'm not familiar with this scenario at all, and I've never been properly interviewed either, so it's like I just did it to what kind of felt natural, but
Yeah.
not professional, so hopefully you weren't making too much up for me sucking with this.
No, man, like I seriously like this is my first like long, you know, because I've done a podcast before, but that's just been like about me personally and like my art and stuff, but I've never done one really about like voiceover or anything. So like that's just really it's really amazing to me that people are interested in what I have to say. So it's yeah.
As said, I can't wait for us to eventually talk about NEO, and just like in general, I will obviously keep talking beyond this, but it's like just hearing your opinions on other stuff. It's like the anime I sent you. I can't
Yeah,
wait for
no, it
you
was
to
really good.
progress.
I literally totally forgot, but I did audition for the girl character, the one who like eats the cocaine at the very beginning, the crazy one.
Oh my god. That's...
Yeah, I auditioned for her, but I didn't get it. That's all right.
Oh my
I
god.
totally forgot. I was like, she looks familiar. I kind of remember this scene in particular, and like they had me do that scene for the audition where she goes freaking nuts. So, yeah.
Oh my god, a part of me like wishes that you had that recording still, just because I remember obviously I watch Netflix, and every now and again I'll go back to, for context for anyone watching, we're talking about The Great Pretender because I sent her that as something that I think would help the pilot, and I actually recommend it to anyone who's watching this. But she's talking about a scene in The Great Pretender.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I probably still have the recording of that, honestly, somewhere.
Oh my god, someday please. It'd be so funny. As long as that's fine, it'd just be really funny. Because that scene is weird, man. Just
Yeah.
pretending. It's like, how far did you get into the episode, actually? If you...
I finished it.
Okay, fair. The fact it's candy and it's like it's an intentional overreaction, pretending that it's actual drugs instead of just a piece of candy they're scamming them on.
I know, right? I love
Oh,
it.
oh my god. Ah. But as said, check everything she's got out. Miranda's an amazing lass, and I'm really looking forward to, like, it goes beyond NEO TWEWY, like, you know, NEO The World Ends With You. It's just everything you're gonna be in now. It's like, that's because we're friends, it's like I'm gonna wanna check up on that. But I hope that other people will see this start of, you know, I'd say this is a big jump in your voice acting career. Is that, like, I hope that's not offensive for me to say.
No, that's definitely fair to say. You know, I wasn't really well known. I was just doing my thing and having fun with it and, you know, doing little characters here and there. But yeah, this is definitely the biggest jump I've had for sure.
So it's like, now coming from this, the community loves you, so hopefully most of them will keep up with what you do beyond The World Ends With You, instead of just hoping that you'll, if there's, you know, another sequel down the road that doesn't hopefully take so long to come out. I'm sorry, The World Ends With You fans, because I know that you're bitter on that one. But hopefully, if there's another sequel, they're not just hoping that you'll be in that and that be the only extent they follow you on. Because that, to me,
Yeah.
would be a shame, because they'd be missing out, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's like you've got way more to offer than just Nagi in your voice acting. That much is definitely
Aw.
clear.
Thanks. Yeah, I certainly try to be varied as every voice actor should.
So anything you want to say as a last note?
Just thank you for having me on. It was a total pleasure and like it's just literally it's so much fun. My first big interview and on this particular game and yeah, you know, follow me on Instagram and YouTube and Twitter and whatever, and I'll give links and stuff. But seriously, dude, like thank you so much for this opportunity. It's really, really fun for me. And I'll definitely talk to you soon.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll look forward to messages. I'll send you one like obviously tomorrow or something. It's like if we don't
Yeah, and
continue
also
talking
like
tonight.
thank you, like thanks to everybody who's been supporting me, like including you, obviously. Like it's just really it's such an honor.
It's really humbling just to be thanked by you. Like not because of the stats, it's just I don't think I've done anything.
No, man, you invited me to do this. This was really fun.
Well, it's like even with the invitation here, it's like down the line we'll talk again in this sort of format about the actual game when you're able to discuss it, and
Right.
that'll be funny because I'll be
Yeah.
picking out moments during streams just to ask you about.
Oh yeah, no, I'll totally be there for that, 100%.
It's like, as said, I will be live streaming this game, so it's like when I do eventually finish streaming the game, I will probably be like during stream mentioning like I'm asking her on this. I am talking to her about this.
Yeah, feel free to ask me anything, honestly, once it comes out.
Oh god, at some point we're gonna have to prank people. Someday.
Just go onto calls or like go onto Twitch streams or something and like start doing the voice.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it'd be so funny. Oh
Yeah,
god.
it'd be hilarious.